I'm Sheila Matthews, your digital human sidekick, keeping you up to date on the top online trends, the juice of the entertainment world, and the top stories affecting our lives. We watch the timelines all day so you don't have to. And today, I'm joined by some of my friends, the one and only Dominique Foxworth, NFL, ESPN analyst, writer, all things football, and Mr. J Already Famous, CEO of the Already Famous brand. We got a fun show ahead, y'all, so let's log in. One thing about Deion Sanders, he goes hard for who he loves and what he loves, which might be the reason why he's adamant about Shiloh and Shedeur not entering the NFL draft until 2025. So we got a clip about him talking about it and his reasons behind it, so let's take a look.
What if it's a package deal with you and Shedeur?
Don't forget Shiloh, by the way. Don't forget Shiloh.
Eventually he's coming.
No, yeah, they're going to come out the same year, next year.
Okay.
They better not try to leave Daddy this year, by the way. I don't know. I haven't thought, man, I'm trying to win a game. I'm not thinking down the street that far. I haven't thought like that. That's a great thought process, though.
How do you feel?
I get it. I understand. I think earlier in the season, Shedeur was playing incredibly well, and we all were thinking maybe he was draft ready. But I think there are some holes in his game, and we would love to see his draft stock go up. It doesn't make a lot of sense for players to enter the draft that are as important as a quarterback unless they're going to be at the top of the draft. The money's very different from the top of the draft to the end of the draft. And then you have Shiloh, who's a DB, who's not nearly as highly appreciated as Shedeur. But the fact of the matter is, they got a pretty safe place there with their father up there in Colorado.
I mean, that's true. I don't know. It's giving me the Ball brothers trajectory. I don't want to say it. I don't want to hope that
You do want to say it. Well, I mean, so LaMelo's very good. Lonzo has some injury issues. Jello is not.
Yeah, I was like, let's keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only two of them, and they both are in NBA, and maybe LaMelo or Lonzo will get healthy soon. But there's a big difference between what the Ball brothers' father has accomplished, and it seemed like we were introduced to him because his sons were really good, and what Deion Sanders has accomplished. Like, we don't need to put those two people in the same conversations. Deion Sanders is an all-time great, the best cornerback ever, Hall of Famer, successful coach, all this before. He's not just riding on his son's coattails to sell some busted shoes. He's doing something a little bit different.
Okay, fair. I mean, put some respect on Coach Prime's name, but it makes me wonder, right? I mean, you have the experience, too, of being in the NFL. Do you think he's seen some things, been through some things where he's like, they're just not ready yet?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but the problem with that assertion is they're not much safer behind, or at least Shedeur's not much safer behind that Colorado offensive line. So I guess the people that are hitting him in college aren't as big or as talented. But if I remember correctly, Shedeur had to get painkiller shots because he was getting hit so much. So while you would think that Deion goes hard and protects his family, he ain't protected his son on the field.
But half of me also thinks maybe they're just holding out for their worth. If they enter now, they're probably going to be worth a lot more in 2025.
Well, I don't know. Right now, I think if they could have stopped the season, honestly, for all of them, Deion, Shedeur, and Shiloh, if they could have stopped the season right after that TCU game, then their worth would have been at its all-time high. But right now, I think it's a little low for all three of them, considering that they had a bunch of losses in a row, and they also had their jewelry stolen in the Rose Bowl, gave up a ridiculous comeback game to Stanford, lost to a bunch of unranked teams, and no one thinks TCU is that good anymore. It's kind of the mask has been taken off. For a second, we all got caught up in how good they were and how quickly Deion turned it around. It ain't turned around yet, so they need a little bit more time, I think, to elevate their worth and prove to all of us that it was the right decision to bring Deion in, and it'll be the right decision for them to enter the draft in 2025.
So speaking of money and worth and time, it could be more valuable for Shedeur to stay because his NIL money is up.
Yeah, that is something I'm not familiar with. We wasn't getting paid when I was in college. But, yeah, I see Shedeur all over KFC commercials and doing national ads. So you're right. If this is about football and it's about professional opportunities, I think building a brand in college and in Colorado for as long as they can, I think gives them something to fall back on if the pro sports don't continue to work out.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we know about Coach Prime is he's a great brander. He will brand himself and that whole family, so I'm sure Shiloh's right behind Shedeur when it comes to NIL deals.
Oh, yeah, they are marketing the out of it. I saw a video a couple weeks ago of people on campus pretending to be Shiloh and Shedeur. So the money is there for everyone.
Yeah. You got to get into it. And the Apple Super Bowl announcement.
It's fantastic. So, I mean, while they are not winning on the field, they surely have the marketing figured out.
All right, well, Coach Prime might be onto something, so
Maybe.
we'll let him cook. So as much as we love a good sports combo, this next segment, Spamming Screens, is all about everything not sports related. And today, we gotta get into Keke Palmer and her ex, Darius Jackson. And y'all, there is so much to unpack here. Okay, y'all, so here's the rundown. Keke Palmer recently asked for full legal custody of her 8-month-old son with Darius Jackson and a restraining order against her child's father. She's citing physical abuse and mental abuse. Physical abuse, he's dragged her over a sofa. A few other things that she's alleging has happened in their relationship, and the mental abuse, he tells her that she's not a good person, he tells her that she's too social. Things like that have all come out in these new court filings. Y'all, I hate to see anything that involves a person being abused physically or mentally or emotionally. It's all bad news. But in this situation, you know who hates it even more? Mama Palmer. Y'all, we have a video, and y'all gotta see it.
Look, I've never done anything like this. I've been in this business for 22 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, but this is I can't help myself. For Sharonis Jackson to post on his Twitter the ridiculous stuff that he's posted when he knew his brother was abusive. I went to Sharonis over a year ago and told him that his brother was abusive to my daughter, and he said, well, I used to be like that too. What? So now he's posting on Twitter like he's this special guy when we know he's the biggest boy in Hollywood. He's disrespectful to women just like his little brother. He taught his brother how to be abusive. So he don't get to act like he's this special guy. No, you're a boy and you're a part of the problem.
So after this video posted online, Keke's mom and Darius's brother had a little tiff. They went back and forth. Now, Darius and his brother, Sarnis, who you might recognize from Insecure, say this never happened. But y'all, some things have come out that kind of don't support those claims on their end. So TMZ spoke with both sides about what happened, and they uncovered a little bit more to the story. So Darius claims this all stemmed from when he came to pick up their son to watch some Sunday football with him. Keke says she never gave him permission to enter her home. Now, once inside the home, Darius and Sharon, Keke's mom, got into an altercation on the phone, which he claims ended with Sharon saying that she had a bullet for his head. Now, after that, Palmer's side did provide a video of the altercation happening in the house, and we have that footage, so let's take a look at that.
You mother.
Where's my baby?
And you better watch out.
Where's-
You might get a bullet in your mother. You mother.
Where's my baby?
And you better watch out.
Where's-
You might get a bullet in your mother.
So from the argument, Keke and Darius began to struggle over her phone, which can point back to her getting dragged over the couch with that incident. And allegedly, it's another incident that happened in February 2002, but not a lot of details have been released on that yet. What I can say from what we do know is this is all a mess, a big mess, and a very sad mess. My heart goes out to Keke. This is just a very sad situation. And for her newborn son, he's 8 months, and to be dealing with postpartum, to be dealing with the world, and to be dealing with abuse from your partner and the father of your son, huge mess. Very sad to see play out, and I just really hope that our girl gets some peace and some justice very soon. All right, y'all, let's switch some gears and bring the energy back up. Jay, welcome to Logged In.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me.
I'm happy to be here.
All right, well, today we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk sports.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Specifically playoffs.
Okay.
All right, so this next segment is called Digital Scoreboard. What we're gonna get into are the playoffs today, and who do we think is playoff ready and played themselves?
Okay.
Ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So I know your playoff predictions are going crazy right now. So the two choices are this. Playoff ready, which means they're on the course, they could win, we could see them there.
Okay.
Or played themselves, which means like, what are you doing? Like you're fumbling the bag right now. Get on your Zoom, you know?
Okay, I'm excited to hear this.
All right, bet. So for the first team, the Houston Texans, playoff ready or played themselves?
All right, so I feel like when it comes down to the Houston Texans, right, you know, they're looking good right now with their
Yeah.
schedule, with them going up against the Colts and the Jets. I would honestly have to say playoff ready.
Going up against the Jets makes anyone playoff ready.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, loved the Jets though. Hard Knocks. That was my season this season. Love the guys on the team, but yeah, you're right. Playoff wise,
Playoff ready.
yeah, they playoff ready. All right, so we've got one that's playoff ready.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Steelers?
So this is all about formula. So when it comes down to formula, you know, the Steelers, they have it, but then again, they don't. But at the same time, I would say, you know what? With the consistency that helps them win games, playoff ready.
Okay. Wow. So we have two playoff ready teams.
Yeah.
So the Steelers, you think they could really take it all the way?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so.
Maybe a hot take to some,
Hey, never know.
but it's Jay's pick. All right. Well, for now, enough NFL talk. Let's get into Jay talk.
Okay.
Because it's your first time on Logged In, and you know we're all a family here, so it's important to know who's at the cookout.
Let's
and today you're at
do
the
it.
cookout with us. So, talk to me about your journey. Walk me through how you got started.
Ooh. Now, are we talking social media or acting?
Ooh, how about both? Give us a 2 for 2.
So I just to keep it brief, when it comes down to acting, I started acting at 19 years old. It fell into my lap. I was a model beforehand and, of course, a basketball player. But the person that got me into acting was, remember the show I Love New York?
Yeah.
TaylorMade?
Wow.
He was my first manager. He actually got me into acting because it was hard to find modeling gigs.
Yeah.
And you know, with modeling gigs, you have to be with an agency, and it's like a tough world out there with an agency. So he put me in the acting world. I got my first gig with Complex, and then it went from there. Things just started developing. As far as social media go, I don't know. It was like, I will say the pandemic helped a lot with that.
Yeah.
You know, I learned how to edit on my own.
Okay.
And I started doing a lot of video editing. My friend Remo, what he did was teach me the basics of editing, which is like cutting and pasting. But if you see my Instagram or my TikToks, you'll see all the weird stuff now. Videos of my head cut off or teleportation and things like that. So I learned that on my own. So, you know, hard work pays off. I hit 1.2 million on TikTok just the other day.
Come on,
So,
clap it up,
appreciate you.
yeah.
Thank you so much for the love. But yeah.
Wow, okay. So, as a fake influencer, I say fake, y'all, because I can't commit to the content creation grind, but
But you're
I
already
try.
doing it.
Thank you. That
You're
was,
already doing
thank
it.
you. I'm going to take those flowers.
But you're already doing it. You know,
But
I
like-
think people feel like they have to be in a certain place
Okay.
to consider themselves as that when
Yeah.
you're already doing it. Once you create the content, it's like someone saying, how can I start photography? Just go get a camera,
Yeah.
figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, there's no real answer. You just got to figure out your own path. If you're already doing it, that's the first step.
So, aside from just starting to do it, I know you mentioned editing, but what other skills are good for content creators to have in their toolkit?
As far as what? What do you
Like
mean?
maybe editing, an eye for knowing what people are talking about, scrolling timelines like we do all day.
I would say knowing your audience.
Ah, okay.
You know, so my main audience, my main platforms is Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But every platform is a different audience. So
Yeah.
once you know your audience, you know what to post.
Yeah.
You know, what I would say as a beginner is post a little bit of everything. See
Yeah.
people like, you know, you may have a video or a post that may hit a couple 100,000 views, but then you may have another post that may hit only 500 views, right? Once you start playing around with it, you know what your audience likes on this specific platform.
Yeah.
So,
So I know you mentioned weird content, and I love it. Like, y'all, make sure you check out his Instagram. It's different, but it has you hooked. Where you're like, wow, this isn't
It's
like what I'm
clickbait.
seeing. Yeah, on social. But how did you land on that was going to be the type of content that you did?
so when the pandemic hit, I was doing cloning. So I was having myself, and I would do because I'm a SAG actor, so I was doing monologues.
Oh, okay.
So my first monologue I did with my clone, rather, it was on the episode with Carlton and Will, and I played as Will on this side and Carlton on this side. And they was packing up to get into the pool house, and I was just playing around with it. And then I was like, you know, I want to learn some more stuff. Believe it or not, the way I learned editing was crazy because I'm a visual learner. I learned from people in like Poland, Russia, Ukraine, stuff like that.
Wow.
So what they would do is they'll have the video tutorial, but speaking in their language. Now I don't know what they're saying, but being that I know what's being shown, I knew where to go.
Okay.
So that's how I started getting into
Come
it.
on, we love some good YouTube University.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing
YouTube,
YouTube can't teach you.
Google, TikTok, all of those helped me out to get to where I'm at today in the editing world.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Okay. So for a budding editor of social content, give me your high level top 2. Gotta know these rules when starting off with that.
see, I'm my worst critic. So the type of editing you talking about I do or you talking about content?
That you do.
Knowing your masking, don't make things obvious, and knowing your feathering. Feathering is like what smooths it out, so it's like you won't know that you can't see any mess ups.
Okay.
So I can see it,
Yeah.
but you can't see it.
Okay.
Only way people around me that know my mess ups is because I taught them what to look for. So that's what happens.
Come on, that was girl math the way you just broke that down for me. Like I don't know nothing about editing, but now I feel like I could hop on CapCut, I could hop on Adobe.
And it was funny, and CapCut been around for a while. People just got onto it. CapCut, I've been using CapCut, and that's not even the main one I use, but I've been using CapCut since the pandemic hit.
Wow, okay.
But I think people are just starting to get familiar with it.
Yeah.
But that's not the main one.
Well, we're happy that you shared some tips with us, dropped some
no,
knowledge,
for sure.
and let the people know who's playoff ready. And it seems like this week nobody played themselves, which is
The Steelers and the Texans.
yeah. There we go.
You got it.
While we're on the topic of NFL, we would be completely remiss to not acknowledge former first-round draft pick DJ Hayden, who tragically passed away in a car accident in Houston, Texas. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, all that loved him, and all who were a fan of his game.
Nah, honestly, rest in peace, man. He was a super talented player.
Yeah, it's always sad to see things like that happen, but we're sending love and prayers and light to all that cared for him. All right, well, Jay, we've been on a roller coaster of emotions this entire segment, but I really appreciate you stopping by and joining me for Digital Scoreboard.
I really had a great time. This is actually one of my favorite shows I've been on. So
Oh my
thank you
gosh,
so much.
that makes me so happy.
Nah, this is amazing. I love this.
Yeah, it was great getting to know you more. I'm happy that everyone
Likewise.
at home does too now.
I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much.
Okay, y'all, so we're going to close out this thing with everybody's favorite segment, Log Out. It's the time when we were watching our timelines and saw that one lucky person who should have just logged out for the day. They should have deactivated. They should have lost their password. And today we're in Harlem with none other than Killer Cam, ex-NBA star Joe Smith's ex-wife, who knows, Keisha. Y'all, take a look at this video.
And then I also have a massage business called the Body Rub Babes.
Nice. Do the Body Rub Babes travel?
Yes, they do.
Are you one of the Body Rub Babes?
Well, I have been, but now I kind of like, I'm kind of
Could you be-
nervous to do anything.
But if I wanted you to be one of my Body Rub Babes, like, would you be a Body Rub Babe for me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Because I don't mean to be unprofessional or anything like that, but I can't stop looking at your cleavage. It's your cleavage is popping, babe. No, you can leave it how it was, man. You can leave it exactly how it was, man. Right now I'm thinking about cleavage and the Body Rub Babes, but don't cover her. It's cool.
It's like,
Yeah, babe. I'm sorry to get off track, man, but sorry about that kiss. We'll talk afterwards, but about the Body Rub Babes and everything else. But yeah, you just threw me off for a minute.
Listen, I know Cam told us he's not a companion or any man stand-in, but it's giving stand-in audition, and I don't think he realized the play. Like, Cam not picking up on game? Not on my 2023 bingo card. But Keisha, girl, you wrong, but get it how you live, right? Because are you married? Are you not? Are you allowed in the house? We don't know, but what we do know is you were sitting in front of Killer Cam with the girls out, trying to get something else besides the mic hot. And you know what? Get it how you live, sis. And Cam, get off the internet. You gotta log out, my guy. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Sheila Matthews. It's been another fun episode of Logged In, bringing you the latest online trends, the juice of the entertainment world, and the top stories affecting our lives. Shout out to my friends for joining me today, Dominique Foxworth and Mr. J Already Famous. It was a blast, guys. Thanks for stopping by. And make sure you subscribe, like, comment, turn on the notifications, do whatever you gotta do. So make sure you tune in when we drop these episodes. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Some more fun people popping by to have some fun conversations with us. See ya.
Log out.